Michael, congratulations. Just they gave you a real tough game, maybe more than you anticipated. Just talking that first half, going down 2 into halftime, that message, because you guys came out really hot and scored 2 goals in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, look, the first part is we knew Colorado had a really good season. You know, I said during the week, all you had to do was look at the standings and look at the number of wins they had. It's a good team, and the way that they play presents real challenges. You know, their front group is dangerous. You know, and so we knew that going in, and obviously they showed that on a bunch of plays tonight. The message at halftime was just, it was simple, that we had 55 more minutes to keep playing, that the game was there for us. The game was more or less exactly what we thought it would be, and we needed to just keep going 1 minute at a time and find a way to get the first goal. That, you know, we didn't have to make crazy changes. We didn't have to you know, go wild. We just needed to do the things that we work on every single day, to play football, to try to win the ball back quickly, to create chances, to score goals. Again, we work on that every single day. So it was just, come on, we get 55 more minutes now, and you know, don't think about the end. Just 1 minute, one play, one goal at a time.
Next goes Sean.
Sean Suckling, Allen Magazine. Congratulations on a big win. How gratifying to you is it you win this in your home state? There's another great player from your state, Alecko, is here. Gooch, who you played with, is here. How important is that to you to have your contemporaries coming back around and assuring you that this is the place to be?
Yeah, it's special. You know, I said it in different words last week, but there's a lot of football history and culture in this area. You know, there's a lot of really good players have come from not far. A lot of really good coaches, a lot of really good teams, and so, you know, now you add in the diversity, the makeup of you know, New York, New Jersey, tri-state area, and so this is a real football area, and so, you know, to be able to play a final here in a stadium like this, you know, the crowd was incredible, and so yeah, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to the players. It means a lot to the club.
Next go to Michael Batista.
Coach, I don't think it's fair of me to ask you to, you know, rank this in terms of things you've done in your career, but I do want to know, you've won, you know, an MLS Cup as a player. The feeling you had with Toronto back, you know, in 2017, could you just talk about comparing that feeling to the feeling you're having right now?
Oh, it's right up there. It's right up there. So yeah, you're nice for not making me compare literally, but it's right up there. So the part of when you're on the inside of something with a group of people, you know, as a player, when it's your teammates and a coaching staff and a support staff behind the scenes, when now you're a coach and it's your players and your staff and your support staff, like the part of being in something together, the part of creating something that every person feels is proud of and feel like there's a sense of ownership, and there's a sense of belonging, of unity in that. Like that part, that's the beauty of team sport. It's the beauty of football. And look, in even if you're not in sports, like in life, the part of doing things with people that you care about, trying to do something special together. That part makes anything more fun. And so, when you get, as a young coach, when now I get the opportunity to come in and inside a club like this, coach a group of players, and work with them every day and challenge them and try to help them and take them individually and collectively to another level. First of all, it's so much fun. And then at the end, when you get a little bit or a big reward and now you get to share a night like this together, that is, goes up there with any moment in my career.
Next, we'll go to James Burley.
Thanks, Mike. Congrats. There were a number of players who had standout performances today, but I want to ask about Adri Mehmeti. As the leader of this team, you were once a young midfielder who came up through this club. What can you say about his performance today, dominating the midfield and just as a leader, a young leader for this group, and now ultimately a very successful season in the end?
Yeah, Adri had a really, really good season, and I would say that in this last period of the season in the playoffs, he raised his level even more. He's a really talented young player. He's a great kid. He has big personality. He has a really good way with his teammates. And you only have to watch him for a few minutes on the field and see the football that he has, the intelligence, and we're really excited at the way that he is continuing to move himself forward.
We'll move to Mark Fishkin.
Congrats, Coach. Just to build on what James said, can you talk a little bit about what Austin Causey has brought to this team during this run? Aiden's obviously on the other side of the world playing for the national team, and Causey has had a really strong game tonight and kept you in it at times. Thanks.
Yeah, really, really happy for Austin. In my first game down in Carolina, Aiden went up to catch a cross and came down on his ankle, and Austin had to go on after 20, 25 minutes and played really well. And in the stretch that followed, there was a moment or two where he didn't play. Aiden was back and healthy, and so I'd speak to him and just say, look, your leadership and your presence in the group is really important. I know ultimately you want to play. Everybody wants to play, but I reminded him that the way the calendar was set up this year, that the Under-17 World Cup was going to fall right at the end of our season, and that if we could go on a good run in the playoffs, that there was a real chance that now we were going to need him ready to be able to play and be at his best. And so, he was such a good professional in this last period, even on the days when he wasn't playing, in terms of now making sure that he was training and ready. Our goalkeeper coach, Miguel Gutierrez, deserves a huge amount of credit for how he worked with him. And so, in the end, when we really needed him, Austin was there.
Next, we'll go to Luke Sirianni.
Coach, congratulations. You guys have outscored the teams in the playoffs this season 15-8. Can you just talk about how your offense keeps rising to the occasion time and time again, even in tough moments?
Yeah, we feel like we have a lot of good attacking players. We feel like, again, we step on the field every single game to try to play our football, and what does that mean? It means we want to attack, we want to score goals, we want to create chances, we want to win the ball back quickly, we want to play the game as far away from our own goal as possible. And it means that in certain moments there's bigger space for our defenders to have to deal with, and it means that in every now and then there's a fire that we have to put out, but generally speaking, in terms of like our ideas and the football that we want to play in the other team's half, and we want to try to we want to be there to make chances and score goals, and again, that is still what gets worked on every day, the full package, not just that, but then the part of, okay, what happens when you lose it? What are the reactions of the team? How quickly can we win it? If we can't win it, how do we reorganize? And then when we do win it, how do we start to play our football again? And so, it's a really good feeling that then when you get to big games and that your ideas and your football get tested, that we were able to hold up in really good ways.
Next, go to Skylar.
Congratulations, Coach, on your win
Thank you.
tonight. This is the second match this postseason. You guys win the extra time, and also Colorado went into extra time for their semi-conference final. What can you say about the guys' determination and persistence for such a long, grueling season and to come out as champions?
Yeah, the mentality of the players of the group has been incredible. Like I mentioned at the beginning, even on a big night when not everything just went perfectly, they kept playing, they kept competing, they weren't phased. They kept at it together, and so yeah, when you have to do that then for 120 minutes, both against Chicago and now tonight, that part. There's also then the part of the resiliency, mental resiliency, physical resiliency, and so in all ways, we're really, really proud of the group.
Next, we'll go to Gary.
First of all, congratulations. When you and I met over at MSU, over the center, when you were just appointed as the new head coach of this team, to now, after Carlton made that save, what was the very first thing in your head saying, wow, did you expect to be here at this time, at this moment, and now you're the champion, you're your head coach of a championship team? What was going through your mind at that very moment?
Yeah, I mean, the first part of your question, there's always an end goal, but you don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about that. It's the work every day, it's the process, the environment that gets created, the training sessions, how you challenge and engage the players, like how you try to help them all individually improve so that the team can get better. It's that process repeats itself every single day, and so you go to bed every night thinking about that and thinking about how the next day is gonna get pieced together, and you wake up every morning thinking about how it's gonna get laid out. And yeah, along the way, you, especially with the group, you try to get them to think about then the bigger picture, the direction that we're trying to go, the motivation of at the end of the year, some bigger games, some brighter lights, playing in the stadium, playing in the big stadium, all this kind of stuff. But still, it's the work every single day. And so at the end, when we're the last team standing, and when we're the ones who get to hold up the trophy, it's a sense of calm and a sense of pride just to be able to watch, look at the players and see the smiles on their faces, and to see how much it means to them, the joy, the happiness. Look, I've been in the game for a long time, but tonight was the first time that I got to experience that, and so that was really special.
Next, we'll go to Luca.
Coach, congratulations on a great way to cap off your first half season as head coach. I'm curious, as time goes on, it seems like younger and younger players are getting opportunities to be in this position to win a professional championship. what does it mean for these players to have this experience so young, and what does it mean to you to be a part of that and facilitating them having that experience so early on?
It's huge for them. For young players, the opportunity to play on nights like this, big games, a lot on the line in the stadium, great crowd. To feel what it's like to play games where there's pressure and tension, and to start to learn how to compete on nights like this. That part is there's no substitute for that. And so it's a really, really important step for all of these guys. And look, as a young coach, the same. The opportunity for me to coach a group like that, to lead a group like this on nights like this here, it's invaluable.
We have time for 2 more questions. And Michael, we're going to kick it to Zoom. First, we'll go to Dan Florenstein, and we'll wrap up Anthony Paradiso.
Michael, congratulations on the congratulations on the title. 2 quick questions. Talk about Rafael Mosquera. It was Roland Mitchell who got the big goals for you against Philadelphia. Now it's Mosquera for those 2 big goals to help you move into extra time. And secondly, 1998, a then expansion side Chicago Fire hired your father. He won the MLS Cup and Open Cup in that same year. Now you win the first title as a head coach. Does your now young coaching career move up to the trajectory into something great?
I'll go with your first question first. Rafa's a really talented young player. He has really, really interesting qualities. He's a great, young man. I love working with him. His personality is awesome. And I think for him, this can just be the beginning. He's got to now find the right ways to keep pushing himself and keep not being happy with where he is, because there's still a lot more there for him, and he knows that, and so I'm really excited to see how he can continue to grow and develop. Obviously, on a night like tonight, when we needed goals, and when we needed to be able to get into the box in dangerous ways and slip little passes and get through tight seams and shots and goals. Yeah, Rafa's ability to just be dangerous and to use his speed, use his dribbling, his good left foot. That part was really, really important. And so, I'm so happy for him that he was able to, on a really big night, come up with so many important plays.
We'll go to Anthony. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just the second part to your question. I've said this to a bunch of you guys before. I am loving every second of coaching and of being inside this club, of being able to coach this group of players. And so for me, it's a day at a time and a training session at a time, and just enjoying the part of now trying to grow and develop myself.
Next, go to Anthony.
Coach, congrats on the win. I would just want to ask simply, just what are some of the things that have gone into coaching this team and this team developing to this stage that the fans might not know about them?
The biggest thing is what a great group it is. From my first day when I stood in front of them, the looks in their eyes, the way that they come in every day, their motivation, the way they listen and take new ideas, it's such a fun group to work with. It's really, I can't say that enough. And so when we got to the end of the year and the games got big and, we were able to, in this last period, have a really consistent group, not just every weekend, but every day. That part was, the way things really grew and came together. That part was awesome.
We'll wrap up with Aaron from MLS Next Pro.
Coach, over 9,000 fans here tonight. What did their support mean to you, and anything you'd like to say to them?
Yeah, look, a huge thank you from myself on behalf of the team, the club. The atmosphere was incredible. I've said it a bunch lately. This stadium is amazing, and when people come into this stadium to be on top of the game and to throw their full support behind the team, there's just nothing like it. And so, for a young team, for a young group of players, to play a game like this with that kind of support, it was really special.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.